Is Khamzat Chimaev really walking away from the UFC after becoming champion? The whispers are growing louder, and UFC 319 could be his final fight. Khamzat Chimaev is reportedly considering retirement after his upcoming title fight at UFC 319, and the reasons go far beyond what happens inside the octagon. According to UFC middleweight contender Caio Borralho, there are whispers in the MMA community suggesting that if Chimaev defeats Dricus du Plessis and becomes middleweight champion, he could immediately walk away from the sport. This speculation is rooted in several significant factors. He has dealt with serious health challenges over the past few years, most notably his near retirement after a brutal bout with COVID-19 in 2021. Recent rumors indicate he is once again battling multiple physical setbacks, though the exact nature of his current problems has not been officially disclosed. These health concerns may make it difficult for him to sustain a high-level fighting career. In addition to his physical health, Chimaev is said to be undergoing political or social pressure from his home region. While he represents Sweden in the UFC, he is of Chechen descent and maintains strong ties to his roots. This dual national identity, combined with the visibility of being a UFC superstar, may be placing an intense psychological and emotional burden on him. Unlike many fighters who continue competing well past their prime for financial reasons, Chimaev is reportedly very wealthy. He has already made significant earnings from UFC purses, sponsorships, and endorsements. With financial security, he may be in a position to retire on top, avoiding the decline that many athletes experience by staying in the sport too long. Chimaev could become one of the rare fighters to retire as champion, citing his health, external pressure, and lack of financial need to continue. While fans would undoubtedly be shocked by such a move, it might ultimately reflect a calculated decision to prioritize long-term well-being over short-term glory. If you're loving this kind of inside scoop, don't forget, MMA Thread brings you 3 fresh UFC updates every single day. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a fight-changing headline. UFC 319, scheduled for August 16th, 2025, at the United Center in Chicago, is shaping up to be a potentially historic moment, not just because it features a high-stakes middleweight title bout between Khamzat Chimaev and reigning champion Dricus du Plessis, but because it could mark the final appearance of Chimaev in the UFC. Chimaev enters the fight as the betting favorite, minus 188, and many analysts believe he has the skills to dethrone du Plessis. However, the focus isn't solely on the matchup itself, but on what happens afterward. If Chimaev wins, there's mounting belief, fueled by insider talk and fighters like Caio Borralho, that he might retire immediately after claiming the belt. This possibility adds massive weight to UFC 319. It elevates the event to legacy status, where fans may witness the crowning and farewell of one of MMA's most explosive rising stars. It injects unpredictability into the middleweight division, with the potential for an immediate vacancy in the title picture if Chimaev walks away. It raises emotional stakes, as fans will not only be tuning in for a championship bout, but possibly goodbye to one of the most dominant fighters in recent memory. Whether Chimaev retires win or lose, UFC 319 will be a defining moment in his career, and possibly for the entire UFC middleweight division. The narrative going into the fight is no longer just about the belt. It's about Chimaev's legacy and whether this is his final chapter. While much of the spotlight is on Khamzat Chimaev and his potential retirement after UFC 319, Caio Borralho is positioning himself as a key player in the middleweight title picture. Currently ranked number 6 in the division, Borralho is scheduled to fight number 3 ranked Nassourdine Imavov in a 5-round main event at UFC Paris on September 6, 2025, a bout widely considered a title eliminator. Borralho has made it clear he sees this fight as his ticket to a championship shot, especially if Chimaev retires and the belt becomes vacant. Even if Chimaev doesn't step away, a dominant win over Imavov could catapult Borralho into a title challenge against the reigning champ, be it Chimaev or du Plessis. Adding to the intrigue, Borralho is entering enemy territory in Paris to fight Imavov, who is French-Algerian and will have home crowd advantage. But Borralho remains confident, stating that Imavov's emotions will get the best of him, and predicting a knockout. With a record of 17 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no contest, Borralho is on a strong run and has quietly built momentum in the division. A win in Paris could make him one of the most dangerous contenders at 185 pounds. If Chimaev wins and retires, Baralho versus Imavov could suddenly become even more important, possibly serving as a fight to crown the new undisputed champion. Will Chimaev retire as champion? Or will UFC 319 change everything? Drop your predictions in the comments. And remember, subscribe to MMA Thread for daily UFC updates, breaking news, and fight analysis.